On BBC Radio Oxford. Alice Hopkins with you, 22 minutes to 5. And the government has announced its decision on this year's public sector pay rises. Millions of public sector workers, including teachers, police and junior doctors, are set to receive significant wage uplifts after the government accepted the recommendations of the pay review bodies in full. The headline rates are 7% for police, 6% for junior doctors and 6.5% for teachers. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, made the announcement earlier.
Clearly, this will cost all of you, as taxpayers, more than we had budgeted for. That's why the decision has been difficult and why it has taken time to decide the right course of action. I can confirm today that we are accepting the headline recommendations of the pay review bodies in full, but we will not fund them by borrowing more or increasing your taxes.
Following the announcement, the education unions say they'll put the offer to their members with recommendations to accept the pay award. If they accept it, it would allow strikes to be called off. George Buchanan is a teacher at Cheney School and an NEU representative. Hi, George. What is your reaction to the pay offer?
Oh, good afternoon to you. Yeah, in reaction to that pay offer, I'll be honest with you, I feel insulted. This is less than the offer that's been made to teachers in Wales and Scotland. It's a very poor offer, and I'll be voting to reject the offer and to escalate strike action. 6.5% is less than inflation this year, so it's actually a pay cut in real terms. This is not a significant progress towards pay restoration. I know that our national executive met this morning, and only approximately 2/3 of them voted in favour of this offer. There are lots of conflicting opinions on the matter, and you're quite right. NEU members will be voting on this decision on Monday the 17th.
Rishi Sunak, in that clip we just heard there, mentioned that they didn't want to increase taxes. They didn't want it to be something that costs the taxpayer more. In a time where times are harder, there's less money, do you accept that there's a limit to what can be done at the moment?
Of course, there's an upper limit, but that doesn't mean that I think that this is an acceptable offer.
Strikes are often, George, seen as the last option. What impact has striking had on you as a teacher?
So obviously, I have only struck, as you said, as a last resort. I don't want to go on strike. I've been on strike 8 days this year, but teachers cannot continue the way things are at the moment. There is a recruitment crisis and a retention crisis in the profession. We have tried all other avenues and have not made the progress that we needed. Strikes have obviously been hard, but I know that we are striking not just for the students at the moment, but for the students that come in the future, and indeed for the future of education in this country.
You mentioned the students there and striking for the future of these students. What effect have you seen on the students right now during strike action taking place?
I mean, look, no doubt the strikes have impacted students' learning. I don't think anyone is going to pretend it hasn't. However, students know that there is a recruitment and retention crisis in the profession, and students have been fully behind us in our strikes. I have a written letter from our students written in solidarity with their striking teachers. Students have come and shown their support at our picket lines outside the school. They realise that the current situation is giving them a really bad deal, and they're fully supportive of our strike action.
The government said that school budgets will be protected and that this rise will be fully funded by them, the government. Do you feel this is a good compromise? How important is this for schools?
It doesn't seem like it's fully funded to me. I've read the Education Secretary's update on teacher pay award. She makes it really clear in her update that some schools are going to be facing financial challenges. Saying there will be additional funds made available is not the same as saying that this pay award is going to be fully funded. It is absolutely vital that it is fully funded. If this pay award is not fully funded, it is support staff who will be the first to be cut. There's nothing close to enough teaching assistants at the moment as it is. And without enough teaching assistants, every student's education suffers because of the needs of a significant minority.
Now, George, I mentioned just before I introduced you that the unions are recommending to accept this pay award. Do you feel out of step with the unions on this?
So what you're talking about is some number of the executive. The unions haven't voted to accept or reject it yet. That hasn't happened. The NEU is going to vote on Monday. From the members that I've spoken to in the conversations I've had with members of the NEU, it seems that I am certainly not alone, and lots of people are very angry about this very poor pay offer.
George, from your perspective, what would you like to see happen next? What would you like from the government?
I would like to see a fully funded, above inflation pay increase, which, if we're going to do pay restoration, we're looking at something like 16.5%. And then moving forward, making sure that pay as a bare minimum is keeping up with inflation. Teachers do not deserve to see their pay fall in real terms.
Thank you. George Buchanan, teacher at Cheney School and NEU representative. Thank you so much for chatting to us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.